rhythms and rhymes, laid back vibes where all are welcome, golden era, sign of the times, organic and natural, happening and fashionable, live on stage or mingling in the crowd. Relive this history, peer into the reflections of how Buttamilk got down.
Yes. Give it up, y'all, for Brother Wadude in the house.
I'm going to do something old. This is sort of unexpected. So I'm going to do a piece that I'm sure many of you have heard, entitled 3003. You can just kill it, actually. This piece right here is entitled 3003, and it's a futuristic poem that in essence is not so futuristic. It's for the thinking people, so if you're not a thinker, then put your fingers in your ears. Okay. And it's important that this is a cool vibe and what have you. We're here and we listen to poems and music and what have you. But it's important that when we listen to our supposed entertainment, that we analyze it, not just with our bodies moving, but with our minds. Okay. Listen to the lyrics. Okay. And see what folks are talking about. All right. And ask ourselves, is that something cool? Okay. So when you're out, like when you're out at a club and you dance and to some Snoop Doggy Dogg and what have you, you know, you got to check yourself if that's something that you think is crazy, that is ridiculous, that is counter-culture, counter-productivity. Okay. So listen to the lyrics. Don't just, you know, bop your heads. All right. Check it. The year 3003. Black people are 2 shades lighter and predominantly Republican. The best-selling albums by Public Friend, #1 titled, Scared of a Mulatto Planet, the middle class, has really moved in the middle while African Americans sit up underneath the front of the bus satisfied, but holding on tight. 6 white people still wait for blue-eyed hippie nicknamed Christ to come again, still waiting. A Japanese homosexual elected president of the U.S. beating out Jesse by 2 votes. Run, Jesse, run, Israel. Needed to expand because 3 more people became Jew. Occupying Africa, all the Middle East and Jamaica just in case. The ozone came and gone twice. Water has evaporated. American Indians are sold as antiques, while Arabs and sell for $3.50 a breath. Children are raising their parents. The homeless, hell yeah. Still homeless while the projects have been renamed minimum security holding facilities. Teenage pregnancies required. Abortion is mandatory and cross-dressing is the fashion of the time. The price of gold is up. South Africans are free to do absolutely nothing as the revolution revolves. Congress passed the bill making morals illegal. Education is cheap. Drugs are free while God, my God, G-O-D, has been banned in 32 states. Moving forward as we head into the future, blindfolded on roller skates, making progress. 3003. Can I get a witness? You guys take it easy.
I'm sitting there waiting for some more. Give it up, y'all, for Wadude in the house. Man, the brother's bad, y'all. The brother is bad.
He's a bad man, as they said about Ali.
Oh, yes.
It's great to hear those beginnings with Wadude. I became acquainted with Wadude when he wrote a book with Major Jackson when he was still a student at Temple University, and then he translated that to spoken word, and now he's an attorney. Still using those gifts cultivated on stage now to the benefit of bringing justice into people's lives.
I tell you, he's not a man of only rhetoric.
No, it's for good.
I have to say that as an audience member, as one of the people producing Buttermilk events, I was always captivated by White Dude because I believed what he was saying. Mm-hmm. And if you Google White Dude, if you could hear what he was saying in the 90s, mm-hmm. and then you look at what he's doing today, it's a through line. He's Absolutely. The same person. The intentions aren't always visible. Unless you zoom out and you pay attention to somebody for a little while, and you see there's a certain consistency of what he says and what he means and what he means to do.
Yes. He was also 6'4" and good looking, so that meant that he always had the attention of the ladies in the room. No disrespect to his wife. It was just one of those things.
Hey, there you go. There you go. I've definitely appreciated White Dude back in the day. We are into the third episode of this Buttermilk podcast. Woohoo! And, I believe for the first time we are going to hear Jill Scott's voice. And we're going to hear her live at Buttermilk. And all of the live footage that you're hearing was recorded sometime between 95 and 97. And I know that because at some point you'll hear Gene introduce somebody and he'll say, yeah, this person's been with us for a year, or they've been with us for a couple of years. We don't know what happened in 94. We know that we started to plant the seeds. We started to do the events, and we know that they kept going.
Yeah.
Through 95, through 96, up to 97. The recordings that I have are the sweet spot of Buttermilk, and one of our sweetest, most recognizable voices and talents, and just a person with presence was Jill Scott.
Philly from North.
Yeah, North Philly. She started Buttermilk events she was recording with a partner named Tiffany Clark. And if you follow her career, she went on to do her own thing, just as Jill Scott. But she does say something pretty magical about Buttermilk, which made me feel awesome when I read it. And I still feel amazing every time I read it again. And you might even hear her say it. But when she says, Buttermilk, it all started with you, in her liner notes, it's a tremendous feeling. Without further ado, Jill Scott.
You're a very funny person. Where's Kenneth Wells at? He's in the house. Buttermilk Worldwide, give props to love to Kenneth Wells. And also DJ Qool, Marv in the house, another 1/3 of Buttermilk Worldwide. Show him the sweatshirt, yo. Show him the sweatshirt. We're going to have our own little clothesline for the summer. Buttermilk Worldwide, trying to get big. All right, that's cool. Where's the Buttermilk book? I always say this. Where's the Buttermilk book? It's somewhere. Okay, that's good. We have some new pictures from the last speakeasy, and the winners is in there, and some some early pictures in 94. We're also selling copies. Carl Childs, he takes the pictures for Buttermilk Worldwide, so let's give him love also. Carl Childs in the house. Mr. I got the negatives. Also the Butterfingers around, the newsletter. Did everybody get a newsletter? Okay, if you didn't get a newsletter, you can talk to the sweetest host on the East Coast. Inez is in the house. Big props also love to Inez. Give her love, y'all. Give her love. We got a whole lot of love in the house. Also to, I got to hold this, y'all. Also to Big Jeff in the house. Jeff, where you at? I can't see with these lights. Give him love. Big props going out to Jeff. All right. Now, that's the end of our features, but we have a special guest in the house. She's been with us from the beginning, so I want you to give her love as usual. She got it going on, much talent. So let's bring her up. Miss Jill Scott, can you come up and do a little something for us? Our surprise guest. one of our premier buttercups. And you can just flow with it, you know what I'm saying? You can just do what you gotta do. You straight? You straight? You made it? You want this song?
All right, I got it.
You got it? Say this for like something like that.
Okay, I got it. Well, let's see. This first piece that I like to do, I think it's going to become my signature piece. It seems like every time I do it, I get a lot of positive feedback from it. So it's called 1 Second of Warp Security, and it comes from listening to hip hop, listening to actually R&B and jazz and everything. How you'll hear a song and a DJ will take it an octave higher, change the mood and everything. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? You hear me? You hear me? You hear me? Thank you. Thank you. Well, this piece came from that. I was thinking about something on a deeper side, and I thought to take it to a lighter side by doing what the DJs did. So this is 1 Second of Warp Security. Could you cut that for a second? Thanks. 1 second of warp security. I was relaxed with him on a Sunday. 'Twas a good day, all day making love day. I didn't think that I could feel that comfortable, that safe, that secure. But I did. And HIIV came to visit. This next piece is I guess it's dedicated to the good brothers, the ones that don't stress us for sex, you know, those. And they're real though, they're real. And I wrote this piece about them because also a lot of times we feel like, well, I guess men, you all think that you're the only ones that get rejected or feel rejected, but we feel that shit too, and it's not nice. So this next piece is called And the Roles Reverse. We so often fuck, then love, not really knowing if we love the person or the fucking. Not really figuring it out until the situation is over and situated. This is why I'm so happy I found you, baby. You don't ask for it, you don't scheme for it, you don't beg like the others do. You just touch me, you feel me, you know me like nobody, baby. This is nice. I'm elated when you caress my mental, embrace my emotional, and love my spirituality. You're slowing me down so I can really love you. This is nice, real nice. But baby, I gotta tell you, as much as I appreciate all you are and all you do, we gotta screw. And soon. Yo, my body's going crazy thinking about you. The last man that touched my heart, that touched my soul, that needs to be rubbing up on some titties. Yo, I can't front. I want some of that. Yo, you keep telling me, no, wait, chill, Jill. So what do I have to do? You want me to pay for it? Set the price, any price. If I got to cook, hook, or crook, I want some of that. If I got to go to the bank and get a loan for the dick, I do it. Fuck that. I'll rob the damn bank. Just give me a quickie before they put me away. Think I ain't say it when I did? Look, I hate to sound desperate, but desperate is what I am. I will do anything. You want me to beg? Is that it? You want me to beg? Oh, please. Oh, please, come on, baby. Come on, baby. I know you want to take it slow and easy. We can. Slow and easy all night long. Woo! If I could think of something else, I would. If I could calm my body down, I would. But cold showers don't work. I tried. Believe me, I have tried. You just got to give me some. Fuck that. You gon' give me some. Or I'm gonna take it. I do it. Believe me, I do it. You are talking to a sister who has asked on paper. All right, I guess. Damn. Woo. The next piece is it's titled, but I'm not ready to share it because it's mine for the moment. I'm just gonna read it. It's along the same lines as feeling rejected. Can't you see I feel rejected a lot? Yo, I wish I didn't, for real. This next piece is called something I ain't telling y'all. Fuck it. I'm just gonna say what I need to say. I love you. I love you. As much as I didn't want to, I've tripped, fallen over myself in love with you, simple and easy. I love the way you walk. I love the way you think. I love the way you breathe. I even love the tiny mole on your right arm, exactly like the one on my left. I love every little thing about you that makes you you, and I know there's things I haven't seen, but I'm sure I'd love those things too if you show me. It's crazy, but sometimes I swear my heart doesn't pump blood when you're not near me. I just walk my way through life comatose till you call or come, hoping, wishing, praying for the day you say it's cool for me to give you what I got. It's cool for me to give you. See, that's the problem. I got so much to give and can't because you won't accept it, then accept it and return it. My logic understands where you're coming from, but my emotions, I feel like I'm lugging around thousands upon the thousands nicely wrapped presents, all filled with love for you and respect for you and desire for only you. You gotta know this shit is heavy. I'm tired. I got so much to give and you're the only one I feel worthy to receive me, but you don't want my gifts, and this leads me to believe you don't want me. And I can't make you, but I try. Showing you my good side, my bad side, being completely real with you, because that's what I want you to love, the real me. I can't make you, but I damn sure try. Again and again, but it seems for nothing. What? I ain't sexy enough for you? Pretty enough for you? Intelligent enough for you? Not enough for you? Well, I think I am. In fact, I know I'm a damn good catch. A thinker, a believer, an achiever, wife material, motherfucker. And as much as I try to give you your space, give you your freedom, not hound you, not sweat you, I go through my everyday life feeling heavy, loaded down, sad and troubled, even when I'm smiling, because I'd rather be anywhere with you. I don't know if you worry about me. I don't know if this whole thing is just something for you to do, but I'm hurting bad, baby. I gotta tell you. But I smile, happy for you, because your shit is tight. Fly motherfucker. Fascinating everybody with your skills and everything, even yourself. And me, just happy to be your little cheerleader, pushing you, cheering for you. Not even caring that the crowd is carrying you out of the stadium, leaving me to go in a different direction. But I hope that you would stop and cheer me on too. Do you understand? Do you understand? I'm willing to go that extra continent for you, with you. Be your peace of mind when the crowds are gone and the parties are over. But you gotta show me something, because I'm tired. I'm so tired of this shit. So much to give, so much I hope to give to you, but you won't let me. And I'm not gonna try anymore. I'm just not. It's your move. I got flavor too. You need to get with me. Thank you, thank you.
Now let's make this clear. Okay, we have a lot of talent and open mic on this list. It's down to one poem. We gotta give respect to everyone, okay? That's not long. The Godfather says not long ones. We have a lot of people on the list, so it's down to one poem, okay? Our next artist, give a love, Sister Leslie. Come on, girl. Come on, girl.
Yo, what's up, everybody? How are you tonight? I'm feeling kind of fly, and this young brother over here, he kind of inspired me to kick a little something on the mic. Like this. Never underestimate the power of the 5'1". Are you ready? 'Cause here I come. Chitty bang, bang, I let you hang from the tip of my tongue. You think you're slung like Mandingo, yo. I have you hypnotized in what my eyes don't see, kid. My rhymes are catching, flexing on the nigga, damn. I am who I be, like a Viking, I'll attack inconspicuously. 'Cause you can't see what I can see in me. Ha, I knew you couldn't. But, just give me love, damn. What's up? How's everybody tonight? Okay, I got family upstairs giving me love, getting ready to spark some shit. When Marvin puts on some old, like, smooth shit, but brother Qool, damn. Yo, what's up? Can I have some love? 'Cause you know, I was losing my energy tonight, and brother Qool kind of sparked it up. But I need some response. I need something, 'cause I'm about to kick some shit that I don't know if you're ready for yet. All right. So you gotta let me know if you're ready. You know, 'cause if you're ready, I need something smoother than that. Give me some roots shit or something, Marv. All right, yo, this is all right. It's all right. Because, you know, I'm just going to flow. I'm going to kick some freestyle. I had some shit ready for you, but I think I'm going to do it a little like this. Like that. Like 1, 2. Are you ready? Yo. I said 1, 2, check it. 3, 4, check it. Urban's on the mic, you best believe that I will wreck it. The URBA and the LESIE likes to kick it live with Jill SCOTT. If she kicks it live with me, then the people, they will be singing oh so jovially. Oh yo, what do you know? I thought you heard those lyrics in the song of times of not too long ago. Oh, you heard that shit before? Well, Urban's got more in store. Are you ready? Yeah. Are you ready? Keep it steady. Are you ready? Keep it steady. Are you ready? Keep it steady, 'cause here I come. Urban's gonna give you some of what you've been waiting for. I'll put 1 foot through the door. Fuck that shit. I'm ready to do some poetry. The girl from Cheney's in the house. Girls, some love. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. But this poem is, it was inspired by a friend of mine, and she's really one of my best friends in the whole wide world. And, you know, last week, I almost lost her. Can you turn that down just a little bit? You know, I almost lost her because, you know, some of our people are so confused. They're not finding the love within themselves. And believe me, y'all, before you know, find any love, you always have to love within yourself. It's not found in some, you know, some fake high, some drugs, some cigarettes, some food, some dick, some pussy. It's not found in the money, but it's found in yourself. And this brother, you know, he came up last week in a hot-ass jacket. You know, a hot-ass jacket, because you know it was hot last week. You know, came up to one of my best friends who I love dearly, and, you know, her friend dropping her off in her fucking neighborhood where she grew up, and proceeded to try and take my best friend away from me. You know, and it crushed her because it was a brother, you know. So she wrote a poem. It was called Ghetto Flower, and it was talking about how she was crushed. And my poem is in response to my love for my best friend, and it's called There's Always Life and Love for a Ghetto Flower. With fears comes tears, ghetto flower, but don't be afraid. Nurture your soul with the essence of your saltwater disappointments and grow once again, because you are still strong with your roots. This I know. So although your veins are tainted with anguish and disparity, realize with the love that I'm giving, living outside your window, feeding from the warmth of your soul too. Don't fade away now, ghetto flower, because I need you. Your color, your fragrance, I can still sense the calm that you shed over those ghetto weeds, because they need help too. Indeed, that shit ain't easy. Believe me, I know, but you've only just begun to grow. With many endeavors awaiting the sheer positive energy of your presence, beholding others with your pollen smile and making shit right. But if you stunt your growth now, you might as well uplift from your roots, because you lost the fight. And that goes not just to my best friend, but the other ghetto flowers who are out there trying to make something of yourself. Never share your big dreams with small-minded people. And never let anyone get in your way. Thank you.
My name is Leslie Arnett. I am a socially engaged artist, avid maker and creative producer, developer, and whatever else people may know me as. Sometimes a life coach, sometimes just little as L-E-S-L-I-E type of joint to spark your curiosity. What you find is everything you need in me. But anywho, in 1994, I was a transfer to Temple University studying film and media arts, well, communications, and then I finalized my major in film and media arts. And I was producing in a studio with Reach Communications. I was producing digital video productions and radio commercials and ads for a small communications company. I first was introduced to Buttermilk by Jeannie Q. He saw myself and Jill Scott, I think at school or Temple. I'm not even sure. I don't even know if he saw Jill, but Jeannie Q saw me performing somewhere. I'm not even sure. And told me about the North Star Bar and Buttermilk Productions, and you know, they were having this open mic for poets, and that I should come through. So that's what I did. I brought Jill with me, and from there we became staples and regulars to the show. I would describe the aesthetic of Buttermilk as an open, safe space for authors, poets, and DJs to perform. It was a family-filled, friendly environment where people like River Parker, D. River Parker, could come through. Even though she was young, she was still welcomed into the fold, and it gave her a voice as well as a space for people to sell their wares, introduce their products. Like Omar Tyree, he used to come through with his wife when he first started, writing and publishing his books. It was a wonderful space for DJs to grow, as well. So it was really, really sweet. And it created a wonderful family that has, just existed and evolved throughout the years. I've still been in contact with many of the performers that came through Buttermilk. How have I grown as an artist or human being since those days? I've learned a lot of lessons. As we were talking before, I said if I had to tell my younger self anything, it would definitely be to sign contracts and protect your intellectual properties as a creative artist, free thinker, regardless whether you're an author, inventor, songwriter, fashion designer, entrepreneur. It is very, very important to protect your intellectual properties. And now, I'm midlife. I'm learning to do better business. I've since got my master's degree as a socially engaged artist, whereby I would like to move forward in helping, myself and other creatives and free thinkers create sustainable and equitable lifestyles. I guess any specific remembrance or impressions that I'd like to share that I just think is funny is Wadude. Everybody loved Wadude. All the girls loved Wadude. Every time he got on stage, the ladies were slobbering. Just that was just funny to me. People will write poems about him. Now that's something. If you guys could find the poems that everybody wrote about Wadude, that would be a hilarious addition to this podcast. But just to wrap it up, I would like to say that Buttermilk definitely created a foundation to spawn many talents, not just myself, giving voice to DJs such as Rich Medina, Mike Nice, Kenny went from DJ now to culinary artist. Omar Tyree, renowned author. Jill Scott, went on to do, some good things as well. Music Soul Child, I brought him through the stage. So, a lot of people came through the stage. It was definitely one of the onsets of the group who participated in the neo-soul movement. Stephanie Renee, definitely introduced a wonderful style of poetry embraced with song, which was, sweet. And that's it. I want to thank you for allowing me to be a part of this podcast. And it was good to talk to you guys, and hopefully we can, see each other sooner than later. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we're going to get started on this open mic thing. And for those of you who, if this is your first time to a spoken word function, the open mic is the chance that we have, those quote-unquote veterans and those of us who are like permanent audience members, this is a chance for us to see some of the new talent that is out there, people that are willing to come up here and become featured readers at another, something to come in the future. And the first brother that we have out, he's an open mic veteran. He's been featured some places too, but he loves to come share with us during our open mics here at the Speakeasies. And this is Brother Kamau.
Peace and good evening. Steph, she just made me change the one piece I was gonna read to a different thing. This one is called Everything Will Be Alright in the Next Life. I say, children, can you see it? In the next life, everything's gonna be all right. In the next life, there'll be no more crying. You mean like Mrs. Jones down the block after her son got his head blown off? There'll be no more lying. You mean like Jesus being the lily white savior of my soul? There'll be no more dying. You mean like the sick and the shut-in who no one visits anymore unless they're dead? The streets will be paved with gold. But what about right now? Not like now, because all I see are nightmares, fear, and despair. In the next life, there'll be no more homelessness, because in this life, homelessness seems to be becoming the status quo. In the next life, there'll be eternal rest for everyone. People work from 9 to 5 and then from 5 to 9 just trying to stay alive. There'll be no more killing. But what about right now? 2 children just got hit by stray bullets flying. There'll be no more poverty. But wasn't that your third Seville I saw you driving? Give to the poor. There will be no more illiteracy. When's the church going to start the GED reading class and the reading skills class? In the next life, all men, women, and children will live in godly peace. Brotherly and sisterly love seems to be on a steep decline and losing fast. In the next life, there won't be any more social injustice. But what about right now? The land founded, rooted, and grounded in societal injustice, no justice, and won't be no justice if we allow them to continue to define our ways. In the next life, we will all live in a land of milk and honey, unlike this one right here, where world robbers have gone in and robbed the land of its natural resources and the people of their way of life, leaving both barren, desolate, and dry. In the next life, we'll have respect for brothers and sisters. But what about right now? We devalue man, woman, child, and God. For 10%, you can be saved. In the next life, all children will be born healthy and whole. Right now, though, too many brothers and sisters won't take the time for prenatal care, DOD, dead on delivery, stillbirth, take the corpse away. And in the next life, we will all be free. But what about right now? Religion doesn't seem to be freeing anyone, mentally, physically, and sure as hell not spiritually. And we keep on playing that same old game of wait until the next life. But my question is, what about right now? I feel a little bit better. I was nervous. I was a little bit nervous. I'm still somewhat nervous. I'm going to try a new poem. Okay? Deep and slow. That might work, you know. This one is called, this is a selfish poem. This is a very selfish poem. This is called I Want. Any slower? Oh, yeah. Okay. This is called I Want. Oh. I want to whisper in your inner ear and listen to you respond. I want to lick your lips and watch the smile come to your face. I want to haunt your waking and sleeping thoughts of me wanting you and you wanting me more. to drown myself in your liquids of those thoughts, to taste the visions of your ultimate delight. I want you to remember the sucking of your toes and how good they tasted to me. I want to fill your hidden thoughts with delectable memories of our last encounter. I want you to implore for the quenching of your thirst with the essence of life. I want you to lie your head on my chest as I run my fingers through your hair until you drift off to sleep. And hours later awaken your womanhood with a cascade of licking, kissing, nibbling, and sucking, and I want 32 hours in a day to savor your every way. I want moonlit nights with slight breezes blowing over bodies heated with passion. I want to exercise all of your inhibitions so you can rain down upon me freely, losing my chains, keeping me from you. I want you. Now tell me, what do you want?
Where we want to get started, and you're probably going to laugh when you hear me say this, but as we have had conversations with the rest of the Buttamilk principals thus far, there seems to be a collective belief that you are the man with the solid origin story and details about the promotional machine as it relates to how Buttamilk went from being a good idea to actual mechanizing the thing and bringing people together so that the shows could really begin happening. So I guess take us back to DAS.
Oh, okay. First, let me claimer first. First, let me say this real quick. Now, I know that this is like the first time I have talked with Buttamilk since I've been with Buttamilk. All right. You know how you talk with people's and family, and you have that label, and it gets refreshed every year or every 5 years. I haven't spoke about Buttamilk in like crazy long. Okay, I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best. So let me put that out there. I put that out there. Now let's get back.
Okay.
So I need for you to repeat your question, and I'll try to see what I can do. Okay, go on.
Well, really, it was just the setup for take us back to DAS.
Okay.
And the meeting of the gentlemen that would become your Buttamilk brothers.
See, and here it is. What I remember is that I was doing an intern under Patty Jackson, and we was working with the weekend events and stuff like that. I have no, and Marv, you have to step in. I have no recollection. I have is that we got together after one of those weekend events, and Kenny was like, Marv spins, and I say, yeah, and we need to get together. You know what I mean? So I have no recollection as in the first meeting, to tell you the truth. I really don't. Now, I also, but I do have recollection as in when the creation of the name, because we started doing like parties. We started doing parties. I was rocking on the 1 and 2s, and that was so much big to me. Because Marv to me was a wonder. He was just so dynamite as in being on the 1 and 2s and representing hip hop. We of course know that hip hop is the 4 elements, whether it be the graffiti, the breakdancing, DJ, and the MC. Marv was just a wonder of what DP was as in trying to represent the hip hop and trying to represent on the 1 and 2s. And the music that he was playing, it was like we was on the same energy, same frequency, that thus brought the same vibration. that's made it so strong. Every time he was on the 1 and 2s, I was always in a wonder because he was just amazing at what he did. My thing was, if I can bring some paprika to it, which was be the MC or be the voice while he's on the 1 and 2s, then I kind of was happy then. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What I'm gonna give you this though. I do remember that we was in my apartment on Chestnut. I'll give you what I know about the name. I'll put that out there because I remember that I had a solo apartment over on Chestnut. Can't say the exact number or whatever, but it was definitely in West Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. And me, Kenny, and Marv was together, and we was trying to figure out the name of what we pretty much was trying to go by and everything. And Marv was I think he pushed out the name Butter. Of course, it started with Butter, but he was like, nah. I think he was like, nah, let's spell it like Butta. I don't know who put out milk. It was either me or Kenny. But it was a couple of things came out. And I think Marv said it first. Like, we had a whole bunch of words or whatever. And we sitting there at this little half table that I had in my little solo apartment. And I think he said it first. I think he was putting it together. He was like milk, butter, cocoa, smooth that, whatever. And I think the first time we said it, it came out of Marv's mouth, and he was like, "All right, but what about buttermilk?" And then we all was like quiet, looking at each other. Yeah, that's it right there. Let's go with that. Let's go with that right there. I don't know, but that's the first time the word came out.
Let's go back even before that, because what was the thing that made you say you wanted to intern at DAS in the first place?
All right. I went to Chain University, and my interest was working on a radio station there, WCUB. After, I guess, 2 years, I became the manager of the radio station there. I actually graduated with a communication arts degree in radio and television. One of our big brothers, Dave, who's also at Chain University, he was working at WDAS. And he said, why don't you come to the station? Maybe you can get an intern or something like that. So I was like, yeah, cool. So I actually lucked up and was blessed to be an intern under Patty Jackson. Yeah. Because pretty much my goal was to be on the radio and do the whole voice personality thing. So that was like a blessing, just to be under Patty tutelage, and then being in the midst of Butterball, that's a big blessing, just to be a part of that and to actually just see how it goes on behind the curtain and how she works and how it's done, how she vibes with all these stars that came into the studio and stuff, into the station and everything like that. That's actually how I got to WJS. Big brother Dave got me actually in there, and that was like huge for me. That was definitely huge for me. Yep.
I got you. So from managing the station on campus to coming to this top 5 media market and getting a chance to intern at the station, and then meeting your Buttermilk brothers, this moment to now become the voice of Buttermilk. Talk a little bit about that whole idea of developing the personality for how Buttermilk was now going to interact with the public, because a lot of that was led by you being the voice, being front and center with the mic on stage at these events.
We started out doing parties, and the first element is Marv on the 1 and 2s, bringing that good vibe. Around that time, I think a lot of people was looking for more of a deep soul in the music that was playing, because around that time, it was a little bit before when neo soul came blasting out. So around that time, people was looking for a little bit something more real, not the synthetic stuff that was rocking. And Marv had the goodies. Marv had a clinch in his collection of some real good soul music, whether it be the United States or whether it be worldwide. He had a touch and a connection with the records that when he played them, it was that connection of the old school R&B flavor, and that again, going back to Marv being a wonder, that really inspired me because I was really digging that as well, bringing back that old school music. We started out doing parties, and I can give you this because I know I'm going back and forth, but I'm gonna give you this. There was one time we did a party, and we met some ladies. We met some sisters, and the sisters went by the name of Scott and Clark. And I remember Miss Scott, and I'm gonna give you this story real quick, and then I'll get back on. But she was like, Gene, I want you to hear something. We went in the closet. I was like, okay. And she started singing. And I was like, damn, this girl got a voice. Oh my gosh. At the same time, before that happened, they was actually doing poetry. No, we went to their house, and they was actually doing poetry at this little house gathering. And Mar's eyes lit up. Kenny's eyes lit up. And they was like, this right here, we need to incorporate this into the parties somehow, some way. We really didn't have the pen blueprint, but we knew that we wanted to incorporate that in addition in doing parties. And once that happened, when we met Scott and Clark, I think that's when we knew the direction where we wanted to go. And not only do we want to just spin music, spin some real good soul music or some real down-to-earth R&B, we wanted to be a collection of an entertainment wherein you're going to have some artists come in and they're going to do whether some spoken word. It was almost like a collection of a culture that we wanted to bring and be the vehicle or catalyst to. Now, actually, we didn't say that at the time, but the first thing that really excited us to say, you know what, we should have some jams or some parties or some parlays or some speakeasies. I think that word came out of Mar's mouth, and Kenny was like, yeah, let's call it speakeasies, and have these poets come in and just freestyle, just come in and do. We didn't know how it's going to concrete to be, but that idea, when we heard the poets, we was like, yeah, let's incorporate that into our party. So I think that was I believe that was the start of bringing in that whole spoken word flavor inside the parties. So from my memory, that was the first, I don't want to say the first post that we was introduced to, but that was the first time, because you got to realize that Buttamilk, it was bigger than just us three. It was a thing wherein it was right on time, at a time wherein the culture was definitely growing, as in real soul music. Philadelphia was like, it was just thriving and sprouting with so much talent. And one of the talents that was sprouting was the whole spoken word, in the poetry scene. Kenny's eyes lit up, Mar's eyes lit up when we heard that, and I think after that we would just attract or magnetic to other poets. I remember a time when I don't even know where it was. I can't even tell you. But and I can't really tell you what the first meeting was, but I remember one meeting with a girl named Stephanie Renee. And I can tell she was adamant to be down with what we was doing. She was, and it was like a compliment, because me, Marv and Kenny, we was doing our thing, but I looked in her eyes, and it's almost like she saw that something was about to go down, like something big was about to go down, and she's gonna be part of it. You know what I mean? And it was a compliment to me, because my thing is, the more family you get that believes in what you're trying to do, then it's going to be better. It's going to be a brighter color to it. I think that was one of the points where, she became like the Miss Buttermilk of it all, as what I call her, as what the family called her. But what she saw, and There was others. There was a meeting with Stephanie Renee. There was a meeting with Stephanie Renee and Trapita Mason, I remember. And I say that it was a meeting like, yeah, we're going to meet. It was almost like a freestyle parlay or something. I met her, boom, and we started talking. But I saw in her eyes that she saw something big. And it almost to the point was like, okay, if she sees it, then we got to keep on doing this. So again, Buttamilk was bigger than just us three. It was a magic timing to be the vehicle for something huge in Philadelphia. And yeah, so that right there, I think was around that time was big.
So I just want to say, for Marv's benefit, part of the reason he said he saw in my eyes something that said that this was going to be bigger, because he ended up in this meeting at the old Zanzibar Blue. I came with the press kit. Ooh. And so when I put the press kit down on the table, like, this was a meeting because we didn't know each other, and if this was happening at Unity Day, then I wanted to come correct. And he looked at the folder and was like, oh, that's cute. Like you think you needed to bring a press kit to me. Okay, all right.
You was already down. Like, you was writing tight with all your stuff. I probably did. That's definitely me saying so. Oh yeah, that's cute. You already down with it. It's all good.
You know what? I'm about to say that you didn't necessarily say that, but I actually think you did.
Yeah,
I think you opened it, you ripple through it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay, that's cute.
Yeah, okay, oh, that's nice. But you already down. You know what I mean? It was already, because all of us know that vibrations are real, energies is real. And when me, Kenny, and Marv would some nights wrestle out and what we're gonna do, I felt that we was on the same frequency, and I felt that frequency was a strong vibration of what we're gonna do. So the peoples that I met through Buttamilk, to create the creation of it, and while it was going on, I always went with the vibrations, and the vibrations I felt from Stephanie Renee was like, oh yeah, she's down. This is gonna be somebody that pretty much believes what we can do. It actually pretty much can help out this vision as in what we could do. There was others like Dave and Jeff, that they was like our big brothers. You know what I mean? They would always support us. They would always give us advice. Big Daddy Dewey came in, and he was the big support as well. But it was so cool because it's like you could see it in their eyes too, that they saw something big. We didn't know how big it was going to be. We didn't know it was going to be like that. But and Marv, I forget the spots that we were at before the North Star Bar. They was there supporting us, and that was so cool to have, because I'm originally a shy guy. I'm still a shy, but if I'm on, it's funny. Okay, let's go back to what is this gene? Is he a loudmouth, or is he? I'm actually a shy guy. I was shy at Cheney, but I really dig being on a mic. It was like I was just naturally on that mic. But once I get off that mic, it was like, okay, yeah, I'm the quiet guy or whatever. Coming back to the Buttamilk thing, it felt so comfortable being with my brothers, being with Kenny and Marv. Marv right there on the one. I could look back and Marv's right there on the 1 and 2s. And I'm on the mic. It just felt so comfortable and natural to do that. Now, mind you, I was definitely not that smooth guy from the beginning. It took a couple of shows, but of course you get better at it. You know what I mean? You get better at it. But by the time we got to the North Star Bar, or by the time right before, I think we was in a good type of sync, as in what we do. There was many tests before the spoken word era, but going back to the beginning, it was all about vibration. When I met Stephanie, it was like, oh yeah, she's down. She's going to be a part of this. When Dave and Jeff was always our support, I was like, yep, these are big brothers. Dewey, yep, these are big brothers. You know what I mean? And to me, I was the kid out of the whole bunch, to me. You know what I mean? I was just like having fun. Me, it was all about, I was just, I don't want to say in awe, but it was almost so cool and honored to be. What it was is that the good vibrations that I was getting from these people inspired me to do what I wanted to do on the mic, basically. You know what I mean? If this guy Marv was on the 1 and 2s and the way he was rocking, then my stuff had to be a par. My stuff had to be right and tight to be his pepper on the mic or salt and pepper on the mic. You know what I mean? So I look at him and he's the way I'm like, yep, okay. My stuff got to be right and tight. My stuff got to be definitely right and tight. So, and it was, you know, it was an awesome vibration. Whenever we was on stage, it was definitely an awesome vibration.
Oh, yeah.
One of the highlights was definitely the Unity Day.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome event. That was one of the biggest. That was one of my good memories. Just being a part of that big event with DAS, that was like so huge. A lot of people came out. That was one of the, I think one of the biggest, the first biggest, just getting our name out there. Marv he's the one who I think just the whole marketing scheme as in the font itself for Buttamilk. Yeah, you go.
That's why I remember that.
Yeah. Just the whole Marv and Kenny would sit down, they would mix up their good chemistry, and Free For All was that was that font. And we said we're gonna keep it in lowercase. Oh, what's so funny? I think D'Angelo used the same font. So maybe we look, but I do remember.
He did on that first album.
I do remember Stephanie Renee being so excited about a D'Angelo coming in because that was the beginning of Neo Soul. That was the beginning of Neo Soul, and I just remember Stephanie Renee talking about it. That's all that came out of her mouth was D'Angelo. But yeah, that was right when the Neo Soul was sprouting out. You know what I mean? And D'Angelo came in as almost, I think, the first one. But Erykah Badu was after him, I believe. But it was the same type of font that we used, that D'Angelo's album was. But I do remember Marv. Yeah, we're gonna do lowercase. But another person that's actually part of that history is the one who took the pictures, which is Carl Childs. I guess he saw something big happening as well. So most of the shows that we had, he would be there and he was taking pictures. Oh my gosh, Marv, that magazine that we took a picture for. Say it again.
It's like Urban World, I think.
That master picture of all three of us, like on the brick wall type vibe. That was the chief picture, and Carl Childs, I believe, took that picture. You know what I mean? He went to Cheney as well. He's A5A, and he went to Cheney. Even the pictures now that we pass around, I think most of those pictures were taken by Carl Childs. Yeah, and we all was family. I remember, we all was just like family, doing what we wanted to do in this big thing that was just growing and getting huge. I'm just putting those out there as in, like, to me, that was big to me. Family is big to me. The people that supported us, that was big. The Unity Day was big. The Wu-Tang thing was big to me because, wow, really, Stephanie, we had to entertain a crowd. I don't know how long it was, Marv, but we had to, Marv had to spin. So I was doing anything just to keep that crowd entertained. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness.
Yo, I'm telling you, this is all the way up in Ithaca, and Marv was rocking it, man. He kept the crowd entertained until Method Man and the bees that swarm in Method Man Wu-Tang Flu came. But when the IM conference was definitely huge. The IM conference, International African American Music Conference, with Deanna Reese and stuff. That was huge as well. That was the biggest time I was really nervous because of all the people that was going to be on that panel. And I remember Marv telling Kenny, but from what I hear, Marv was like, telling Kenny, where is G at? We're about to start this panel. He's somewhere. I was trying to get my CeeLo down. I was trying to get what I was going to say down. So I'm somewhere walking around. Oh man, this got to be right. But that was really huge to do that IM conference. That was like really huge, and it turned out to be pretty cool. That was go on. I'm sorry. Go on.
Oh no, I was just reminiscing that one dude up there, Dick Gregory.
Yeah.
Dick Gregory.
Yeah.
Nelson George.
Yep.
Daisy from DAS.
Yep.
There was G-Man. He was up there. King Britt. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that was, looking back on it, that's like part of music industry folklore history.
I got a story I want to peep up in there, Stephanie. But there was one time where we went to go see King Brit spin, and Marv was like, it was like he was just humble to just sit and chill and listen to King Brit do his bit. Meanwhile, I'm in the back like, what's going on in here? But it taught me to just sit and respect what's going on, because you got to respect the man King Brit. And Marv could have been a guy that had a big head, yeah, whatever, but he respected the game. That's the lesson I got from that, where we was in there and he was respected. He was like, yo, this King Brit, he's a big guy in Philadelphia. He's a big guy almost overseas. We're gonna respect him. We're gonna listen to him groove. You know what I mean? But that was another lesson to me. Was like, look, man, you got to just sit back and just respect other people's as well. So that was I'm actually giving you stuff that the lessons that I was getting as well throughout the whole matureness of Buttamilk, and that was one of them. So when we got to the North Star Bar, though, that was when it was, so many awesome memories with the North Star Bar. Whenever Stephanie was on a mic, it was always a thrill for me, because she was like Miss Buttermilk. So that was always cool. Her friend Trapita Mason, she always rocked. I'm just freestyling, just giving what pretty much, it was always to me like I was a little kid. I was enjoying these artists on stage, just blessing them. In the Buttermilk shows, like the North Star, that was just all freestyle. And I would get my inspiration from these poets. I would get my inspiration from these artists. I would get my inspiration from whoever the features were. That would give me whatever I needed to say in between while they're doing their thing. And this Buttermilk always did it. Trapita Mason always did it. I can name so many, but I'm going to do. Let's see. Wadu was always interesting. Always interesting. Jill Scott was always interesting as well. But just the good vibrations I got from them kept me going as in doing what I had to do to make the show flow nice. Yeah.
I have to confess, since we're putting this out there, that being deep in the psyche was what part of Buttermilk's aim was, to get up in your mind. I remember when made a little beat and asked you to contribute, and the line was, tune into our minds, tune into our minds. While I got you for some flower giving, I want to thank you for actually keeping my flame lit, because I know when we got together, it was burning already. Me and you had straight up like listening sessions, Buttermilk FM. I still got those tapes. They actually.
Oh my God! I totally forgot about. Let me tell you, Stephanie. Let me tell you. You gotta realize, Stephanie. I don't think he knew it, but I'm looking up. I'm looking up to Marv. I always respected Kenny because he was the businessman. He took care of the business. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It had to be Marv's idea, but we was doing tapes, and all I remember is that we would record shows. It was not like we had a 2-track or 4-track. If we messed up, we had to start all over again.
Oh, yeah.
Marv would tell me. Marv would be like this. Marv would be like stuff. He'd be like, all right, so we're gonna do this. We only got one tape. I'm like, damn, I can't stutter or nothing. I gotta make sure this thing is right. Yeah, but yeah, we did it, and that was part of the movement as well, as pushing. He was already grooving and making them, but just to be a part of that, just to be the voice on it, to me that was so cool. You know what I mean? And that was huge for me as well, to be a part of that. Just the hustle, and it was a hustle and grind to get those tapes out. It was really cool to be a part of that.
I have to give credit. To my Buttermilk brothers, because they heard everything first, and I knew both of y'all could feel music. I think Kenny definitely appreciated DJ culture. When y'all were like, "Oh, okay," that was encouragement, and it definitely gave me more courage and more like reason for being, in terms of going ahead with DJing. And
right, yeah.
So in a way, that was the beginning of me thinking, oh, okay, so certain music is about to not be heard because of gatekeepers. And then I had that experience at Perspective Records too, which was predominantly positive, mostly positive. But I also saw artists who I thought were good get shelved, and just felt a lot of empathy for the person that got talent but don't got all the shine, or the person that got talent but don't have the agent and the team and this and that. The connections meant a lot to me, and I know it meant a lot to you and Kenny also, that like we was just providing a stage for that type of person. You good. It's just you're not on that path to get a record deal, so to speak, or you might not even want that. You might want to express your talent from time to time. So that was definitely intention and on purpose by Buttamilk.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That definitely, and you're exactly right. You're exactly right. And that was, we kept that in the texture of Buttermilk, whether it be the lowercase letters for Buttermilk, we kept that in the texture of it. Yeah, and that, just like what Marv said, that paved the way. In so many ways, it was pretty much woven in our ways that to fight for that realness, to fight for the realness of some real good music. You know what I mean? Yeah. I haven't said any things for so long, but you know, I just remember doing those tapes and saying, in the midst of your Ease Back Tuesday, you're listening to DJ Qool, like different things that we did was woven into saying that the real music was, this is what we're playing, this is what we're grooving to, and this is what we're trying to give you. So yeah, man, that was, yeah.
What you all created with Buttermilk, maybe my final question for tonight will be, what were your feelings about the other venues that began to crop up afterwards, and not even necessarily afterwards, because some people who thought about people that were taking some of the formula of what you all created and began doing their own thing.
What was it, Stephanie? October Gallery? And they was doing, what was my man at October Gallery? What was his name?
Lamar Red Cross.
Exactly. So you had him in the heart of the art museum area. You walk in, you got all this art around, and then all of a sudden you see somebody like Stephanie Renee or Trapita Mason or somebody, just there's no mic, and I don't think it was just a crowd, and they was just spoken word. And to tell you the truth, that's Buttermilk saying, ooh, okay. Before Buttermilk was Buttermilk saying, oh, okay, all right. But we just took it to a next level. You know what I mean? I don't think we took from them. There's blurred memories of people trying to do it, but it never was Buttermilk. And this is coming from people who came to our shows. I'm not just being big-headed or whatever, but people would say coming to our shows, the reason why we come to a Buttermilk show is what y'all giving out. And that's, to me, that's almost like the utmost gift, to give somebody something where they can come to a show and get something and say how dope it was. So my gratitude to them is, hey, thank you so much. That was the biggest thing, because here it goes. At the end of the day, Buttermilk didn't make a whole lot of money. The thing was, Buttermilk was bigger than the three cats. It was bigger than these three brothers. What we did was almost like the juice, the oil for these artists to come on stage and do their bit in this stint of time. It was a circa. It was a CIRCA circa point in life where these artists came on and we gave them that stage to do their thing, and that stage was complemented with the best of music being spun by DJ Qool Marv. You know what I mean? And people will come in and they can breathe the realness. There's realness in this place. So that can't be duplicated. And if you try it, you're just going to fail. That's the way I feel about it. I appreciate the call, because, again, it's all about good vibrations, man, at the end of the day. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's all about good vibrations, and this felt good doing. This felt definitely different than what I been doing for the past years here in Newcastle, but it definitely felt good to reminisce and talk with some good souls. So definitely.
Oh yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Gene. Definitely appreciate it.
Yes.
Oh, thank you, brother and sister. Thank you so much. Thank you, Stephanie. I haven't heard your voice in so long, and that was a treat for the night to hear you talk. I haven't heard your voice in so long, so I really thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for your time.
That's what's up. I appreciate it, y'all. Y'all stay safe, and I'll definitely get back with me. It's all good.
Yeah, will do.
Okay.
Will do. Hey, take care, Gene.
All right. Love you, brother. Love you, sis.
Peace. Love you, bro.
Love you.
All right. Peace.
Bye.
Very special thanks to Gene Robeson for his voice reminiscing about Buttermilk. He had to really deep dive into his mind because it has been a long time. A lot of time has passed since there's been a conversation about Buttermilk. We didn't keep going for no bad reason, actually. This may be a revelation to hear for some people. We just ended up in 3 different cities at one point.
Yeah.
And by 97, I believe Kenny was actually back in Baltimore. Gene was in Western Pennsylvania, starting a family. And I was up in New York. So we didn't have a bad breakup. There'll be no Unsung or no Buttermilk movie showing like, one of us on drugs in the corner, curled up in a fetal position looking crazy. No, none of that happened. We just all agreed that it was tough to keep it going. And I believe I can speak for Kenny and Gene in saying that we just felt like we had to be there. We had to be present. We didn't want to be like nightlife mercenaries showing up once a month from wherever to keep this thing alive that we started.
Yeah.
We wanted to be part of it. We wanted to experience it.
I can say, as someone who has experienced Buttermilk from all the angles, that people who are only coming as a part of the audience also do not understand that sometimes when you're hosting and you're organizing, you evolve out of that space and want to exercise some different skills. And so everything that doesn't last for 50 years, that doesn't make it a bad thing. It just means that there is a shift happening that requires a different set of skills, or that the principals involved in the thing want to do something different. No love lost for the thing that they birthed and brought to life, just a different thing. And so you move on from the first baby.
That's right. That's right.
And go make something else.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, it is a very short story about how we stopped doing what we were doing, but I do appreciate the long story about how we came together. And I appreciate some of the information that I found out in asking questions about Buttermilk, asking you questions. And you told me that you found out about Buttermilk because of Carl Childs.
I sure did. And I appreciate the notion that Carl was an unofficial talent scout, largely because he was capturing so much of what was happening at the time through the lens of his camera. And so he saw things and he was like, A plus B would equal triple C. So let me make some introductions and make some things happen. And so it's nice that in this conversation around the story of Buttermilk, that we get to hear from now someone who never stepped foot on stage to share, but was an ever-present necessity, really, in helping to tell the stories.
Truly, truly indeed. Gene references Carl earlier in this episode, actually. And he says, when he says, man with the negative, he says, I got the negatives, I got the negatives. Gene's talking to Carl directly. Now we're going to hear from Carl directly because I am grateful about who he knew, because he knew you, Stephanie.
Yeah.
He knew Gene and Kenny. And then he got to know me. And in every step of the way, the support was via presence and via talent. First time I ever took a professional picture was with Carl Childs. So I thank him so much. But let's hear from Carl.
How's everybody? Big Marv, how you doing, sir?
My man, Carl, how you feeling?
I'm good, man. Got another day. All I want to do is keep stringing them together.
How about that?
That's it. That's it. Hour by hour during that day. Yes. Thank you very much for joining us. It seemed like Buttamilk actually began with you and Gene having a conversation one day. And you telling Gene some good things. You running into Stephanie and telling her good things. From what I've learned, you are the glue. Like, you deserve a lot of credit for Buttamilk. There's that I've learned, and then what I already knew, which is still.
That is the photo.
Wow. Yep.
The official.
Welcome.
If you look up Buttamilk, that is the photo.
That is the one.
You are literally, when people say day one, a day one person, like you truly are day one. But I didn't know to the extent that the day that I had you down was later than the day that you actually really impacted Buttamilk. My memories began at like us taking photos. So I can't wait to hear you express your memories about those conversations and everything. And I just wanted to, at the top, thank you for really just being part of the DNA of Buttamilk.
My brother, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for. I'm just glad we're all still here.
Yes.
All right. I marveled at how fast time really goes.
Yeah.
We talk about it in our songs, and we talk about the strength and length of time, but it goes like that. It feels like.
Yeah. Let's start at the beginning, right? Because I expressed how I got connected to Buttamilk through you, but we want to hear from your perspective. Where did you come into the conversation with this cultural movement and being connected to what grew into Buttamilk?
Ooh, that's a great question right there. When I think about that, the conversation really goes back to the place that Jeannie Q and Kenny were living at, and right off of Fairmount, a few blocks away from Fairmount. Actually had a house. We had all recently graduated, I think, and I had actually had my first apartment. Honestly, was right up the street, so it felt really familiar with us because we were all on campus at the same time. And when we moved back to Philly, we all were geographically in the same space or in the same area. So we started there, and just with us knowing each other, Gina's always been a creative in terms of just coming up with different things and different ways to really express the art. So once him, Kenny, and Marvin, he let me know the idea of actually that they were going to start putting on events in Philadelphia, based events, poetry, spoken word, great music, all that kind of coming together. It was my tribe. Honestly, it was my tribe of people that were saying that they were actually going to push an idea along, and I'm really not one to say no to a good idea. So once that started, I was always the guy with the camera. So I looked at some of my older pictures, and I see pictures of us in undergrad in college at Cheney. Once we graduated, and Gene, we had a great relationship with on campus. I'd known him for years before that. Said, hey, I'm doing something. I really wanted to be a part. And I said, hey, if you need any images, you let me know. This was really good for me to really explore nighttime photography, playing with lights, playing with different f-stops. Every night was an exercise for me, because I would go in with the thought of, okay, I want to cover the stage of the great people. I might not know them at the time, but I wanted to make sure I got the best pictures I could of the event itself. the energy of the people I didn't know, the overall coverage of everything. And I wanted to give that back to my friends so they could really take track and see the good things that they were doing. The fact that it actually lasted this much longer. I met Marv actually at that photo shoot that he was talking about around the corner from that first apartment. And everything just clicked. From there, I just tried my best to be good energy, and I learned to be as much of a help as possible. And also, personally, I learned to not be the show. When I fell into Buttamilk and actually talked to Gene and talked to Kenny, talked to Marv and got everything going, I was like, I'm in a great group. Why am I going anywhere? Let me build off of here. I've kept most of those photos because it was a really great time personally in my career. So I enjoyed it, every minute of it, honestly.
I want to go back a little bit before you became the guy at the event. How did you become Carl with the camera? Like, where did your interest in photography come from?
My interest in photography, I believe, came from my interest in being there. I wanted to be around, but at the same time, I wanted to contribute to whatever scene I was a part of at the time. Whether it was, I wasn't the best dancer, but hey, I was at the house music party. I wasn't a poet, I didn't sing, but I was at the poetry event. I was at different concerts and things like that, but the energy of the spirit of the 90s at the time really felt like my tribe was with that poetry community and that spoken word community once I got there. Before then, I made my rounds. When I left Cheney, I was from Philadelphia. I went to all the college parties. I got to meet a lot of the people at a lot of the different schools. I had good vibes with everybody there. They knew my energy was good, so my camera was good. So I luckily was in the right place at the right time and got some iconic pictures that I personally believe are really just stand the test of time. But at the same time, I got a lot of pictures of people smiling that I have no idea who they are. If they saw them, they'd be like, oh my God, that was me. I have no idea who they are, but I got really great pictures of them.
Yeah, I think that there's something to be said for the energy that you bring with the camera and then the energy that you get back in response. And Marv and I have had the conversation when you said, can I get credit for the pictures? I was like, that's the whole reason we want to have this conversation with you, because if it was not for you and your camera, there is a vast amount of this history that we've been discussing with people that we would not have a record of. Marv has some recordings, but you have the visuals. You have the people and the energy that is a visual representation of what Buttamilk is and was. And so I guess if you had to describe Buttamilk energy, what was a Buttamilk event, or what was Buttamilk like for you in a few sentences, or do you know, just describe for people who may have never been there, may have never heard of it.
The Buttamilk energy that I got, and overall, the first word is cool. The second word is comfortable. Everybody in every event, the energy of the event, everyone wanted to be there, first off. Secondly, the people that were there were willing and happy to be a part of the show. In terms of, not just in terms of the dress, but in terms of in terms of that person, show my piece of, or I'm comfortable showing my piece of art, my piece of uniqueness, whether it's words, whether it's sounds, whether it's being able to put everything together, and whether it's comedy. In terms of the funny, when Buttamilk started doing comedy, everyone that was a part and on board, there was never any feeling of malice, feeling of bad energy, feeling of, oh, I'm going to be the narcissist and this is going to be my event and everyone else has just got to watch me. It was never that. It was always a collective of everybody with various different skills that really wanted to say, here, take a look at what I have this week. And there was nothing recycled. Everything was on board, on point. Everyone wanted to come with something new. If they saw something at the last event, the next event you would know someone would come in with a play on words or a play on something that they might have seen at the last event, something like that. And it was fun to go each time because you never got the same show. So that's where the audience, even though they got to be regulars, they were regulars because of the same thing. They liked that kind of energy. A place where they could go out, they could be comfortable, they could show people the art and the artistry of others that they know and it not feel too far away from the stage. Everyone was, like I said again, felt like we were all part of the same tribe at the time. We all didn't know each other, we were all from different places, but once we got into the Buttamilk event, the smiles were there, the people were there, someone you might have not have seen since the last event. They were there and you were ready to just chop it up and have a great time.
You also mentioned that people might be from different places, but this was a place that they convened and felt comfortable. Describe how Philadelphia factors into kind of this story. How is Philadelphia a character in the Buttamilk story?
The North Star Bar was a place that you had to travel to. It was a destination place, but to get there, people had to come from all different ways. Some people got rides, some people took the 15. It was a place where you might not have known about it until you got there, but once you got there, you knew exactly where it was and you didn't want to go to any other places. Like the bigger clubs, they didn't have the same kind of feel to it. I'm from North Philadelphia, so I was familiar with my area. It wasn't very far from my first studio apartment. Gotta say, I love that place. That was really fun. On Fairmount Avenue, had a great time there. But it was all encompassed in that area, but we got people from everywhere. There were people from Mount Airy that would come over. West Phillyites would come over from that Penn Drexel area. They would make the trek, come on across the water and come over to there. Loads of Templeite. Once the word got out amongst the tribe to their friends, it was a place where you could invite someone, you could bring someone and know that they would at least feel the energy. Even if they might not have the best time, they would still feel the energy and have a good time. So that was always, for me, when I saw the Philly in it, the Philly vibe of the people it was never, all North Philly or all Mount Airy it never felt closed in that regard. It felt more open in terms of, oh, hi, you're here. Where you're from? We're all from Philly. Where are you from? If you were a student or you're from a different state or something like that, you can still come in and get that vibe from some people that were from the city and still you had a good time. So I had a great time for that energy, for that feeling of collective Philly energy alone. When you got inside, it was Buttamilk. You knew Buttamilk wasn't founded or started by guys from Philly necessarily, but they were in Philly and they were bringing their type of energy to Philly. So it was one of those things that when Philly got it, we coalesced around it, we grabbed it and then just made it a part. It was like after the third or fourth time, it was Philly. Okay, come on in. We got new people, we got new stuff coming in. Oh, you're from this college? Oh, hey, come on in, jump on stage, come on over. And show us what you have. So it was always a variety of people. It was always a really good collective, and I really enjoyed it for that because it was a chance to show Philly to the people that weren't from Philly that you can have a good time with this group. So everyone seemed to have a really good time, and I enjoyed it every minute.
But you're a Philly dude, right? So was Philly a character in your life? Because you chose to go to a school that is, I guess you could say, considered the suburb of Philly, and you decided to come back to Philly, and you live here now. So clearly Philly has deeply imprinted itself upon you. How does Philly factor as a character in your life?
When I think of my city, in a nutshell, nothing feels, I'm from Philly, so no part of Philly feels unfamiliar. Whether I'm in South, whether I'm all the way up by the Northeast, So if there was a bus close, I was there. It was no problem getting there. As a younger person at the time, I hadn't had the chance to really get out and about until I got into that Buttamilk era or age range. Then it was okay. Like I said, I keep saying, my first apartment, it was really a chance to test my wings and see what's here, what's over there, what's next, where do I want to go? But everywhere I went, if it was in the city, felt comfortable. It felt like I'm supposed to be here. And bringing that to the people that I felt might be uncomfortable or might not know was a benefit. Being in Philly and from Philly, I was able to be an ambassador to the people that I did meet that might be from somewhere else and say, oh, if you like this, go here. Oh, I see you enjoy this kind of music, you like this energy? You definitely want to stop by Buttamilk. It's right over there. It was a really good place. Like I said, it wasn't a full-on nightclub, so it wasn't like people were coming in trying to get dressed to the nines and just playing a role or doing anything like that. You wanted to come, you wanted to experience, and you really wanted to be there. So that part of it was one of the benefits for me, and it was one of the things that I was able to invite other people to from Philly that were like, oh, wow, you didn't know this was happening? Philly is more than just that the Bahama Bay or the Cat Club, or you can find a great time without having to do all of that. You didn't have to do the most to have a great time. So that part of Philly overall is what I knew, but being able to show the people from Philadelphia, the people that I knew, that these people from out of town were having a great time in your city, so you might want to be a part. Come on over. Was a really good time. And then I had the pictures to prove it, to back it up. Hey, take a look. Look at this crowd. You can be a part of this. This is great. Yeah, it was really a place I felt like an ambassador. I really felt like I am from here, so I really wanted to take the best pictures of the event so that the people that I could show would see the good energy without having to experience it the first time. They could see it, they can go, oh, I want to be a part of that. And I got friends that still talk to me now that still talk about, oh yeah, you remember when you were? Yes. They liked it because they got a referral from a good friend that turned out positive. I might have touched on before, the fact that there were so many people that were from different places. The Philly people that came were meeting people that weren't versions of them. They couldn't pick and say, oh, whoa, you must be from West Philly. Oh, let me guess, you're from South. It wasn't that kind of energy. It's like, oh, wow, you're from Maryland? Never been there. So the furthest away I was thinking was Pittsburgh. You know, in terms of that, wow, you're from Pittsburgh. That's all the way over there. I'm like, oh, wow, different state. You comfortable. And I appreciated it. And I tried to really just give back as much as I could with what I did, my art, to just give back to the event.
Yes, indeed. I mentioned at the top of this that thanks to your camera, we have visual representation of all that Buttamilk was. And I wonder if there are particular photos or particular moments that you captured that stand out to you as some of your favorites.
Ooh, I've been going back through my photos over the last week since we spoke. Yeah, I've been going back. Honestly, the fact that each picture that I take kind of triggers us. I see why people take pictures now. Each picture I take puts me back in a space, and I'm like, oh, I remember that. Again, I have a copy of Steph's first poetry book. It's still sitting in my thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I still got that one. And I have a picture of her reading from that book on stage, and I'm like, oh my God, look at that. Okay. Going back to her, I see that kind of stuff. Again, Marv, Marv was just having a great time, just on the wheels the whole time and just enjoying the entire thing. When you get a chance to take pictures of people that aren't posed, that aren't staged, you don't have an art director or anything like that saying, now this needs to be here or move this there. You're just catching people in the moment, but not knowing at the time that the moment is going to be something that life is full of moments. The fact that you're actually able to catch someone doing the moment of catching them doing what they love with barely, because they love it, was really a good experience. I got to work for the money shot each time. Like I said previously, people were coming to the Buttamilk events showing. They wanted to show their newest piece. They wanted to give their, and being able to actually catch those people, and you can see it on their face when they aren't sure if people like it. They aren't sure if people don't like it. They just are an artist in the middle of their art saying, this is what I do. And that kind of being able to catch that, honestly, for me, was the money shot. As I go through, I see pictures of everybody. And some of them have gone to different places, but yeah, everyone I tried to take, I tried to really try to capture that part of it. Like, I'm loving where I'm at right now.
And just so you are clear, part of what Marv was referring to in terms of the where you came into the picture of how all this worked is that when Marv interviewed me, before he even asked me if I would jump in and help assist making this podcast happen, his interview with me was, I know that you became Miss Butterworth, but like, how did you get connected with Buttamilk? And I was like, Carl. And he was like, what? I was like, yeah. You were the person who told me that they were going to be curating spoken word artists under the tent for Unity Day. And you put me in touch with Gene for that purpose. I didn't know anything about what they were doing. I was in my own artsy bubble. And you were like, Steph, you do poetry. If they're going to be doing poetry at Unity Day, then you should be a part of that. And so this whole idea of not just your photos, but you personally being connective tissue to what Buttamilk grew into is legit. And I can speak on that. I can testify to that myself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's on some Fifth Beatle level. You know what I mean?
I'll go for that one. I will go for that one all day long. I see it, and I'm remembering that conversation specifically. Yup, I remember that. Because, again, it feels like a lot of, I can see parallel lines sometimes, and I really started to really notice and act on them right now, but I'm glad to hear that the original thought is in my head. Like, I can see when things seem like they work together or should work together. And that was one of the first ones. Like, yeah, these guys, again, I was on the term of, okay, yep, these Kappas in this Qool definitely love this AKA. I was like,
as an alpha, right? Okay. You understand? Like,
I couldn't be a hater. I was like, you know what? No, this is working. This will definitely work.
There you go.
And it grew from there. But yeah, man, in terms of just it being a pleasure just to have the opportunity to connect on a level with you guys, just all of you, it was a privilege for me. Because like I said, I'm from Philly. I'm a kid from Philly, and I went through school relatively quickly. So when I was in school, my school time was always about getting stuff done and less about the relationships and how many people are there.
Oh, yeah.
And once I actually got into the relationship and people part of school, it got into, oh, wow, okay, I'm meeting some really good people that are vastly different from me. But yeah, I just really, since then, I've really just tried to just keep building on that, and I've met some really great people. I, again, appreciate both of you. And I've seen the careers of you both. I've been watching the careers of you both as you guys have been making it happen. Yep. Let's just keep moving.
Yes, sir. I'm down with that.
Thank you so much. I just really, really appreciate you. When I think about the sparks and the zoom out on Buttamilk, and I just replay like the beginnings, now you're in that. When you zoom back in, there's you and Stephanie on the corner somewhere just rapping. But then Stephanie goes off and you zoom out and we're all at North Star Bar, and you're at no point are you not part of the story. You know what I mean? Thank you for that. Thank you for that, man. I'm glad I get a chance to say that to you out loud.
Yes, sir. All right. Let's keep getting more days. I got no problem at all. All right.
Yes, sir.
For sure. We thank you for jumping on with us.
Look, thank you both. Okay. Just let me know. Keep me involved, and I'll be there 100%. God willing, I'm right there.
All right.
Right, well, peace, guys. Love you both. You have a great one. Take care.
Take care.
Thank you.